Yo, everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today has been insane. It's been crazy. Out on a work trip, but as I was driving, my trip was about 3 hours or so. I'm currently in the state of New Jersey. Those of you who don't know, the state of New Jersey is like pretty close to New York. Right before you go to New York, you pass New Jersey to go to New York. They're like, sister states kind of thing here in the U.S. So in my drive, as I'm driving, I keep on hearing news of the whole Mason Greenwood situation, right? So I'm gonna jump in here so I can give you my 2 cents. And that way I can hear what you guys have to say in the comments below. Guys, before we get started, this is Man United Central, and I'm your boy Luther. I'm super excited you're back here to get your updates when it comes to our Manchester United. Guys, so again, as I was saying, the top news today hitting the news waves, hitting the internet, crashing the internet is Mason Greenwood. So we finally had remember we were talking about Manchester United were going to make a decision when it comes to Mason Greenwood. Either he stays or he goes, he comes back, whatever the situation is, right? So today we got something from Man United, an official statement, basically kind of talking, one way or another, like what is their position, right? And there were two things. So there was that statement from Man United, and also there was a report that was going to be released by the Athletic. Athletic is a news publication in the UK, which is very prominent. They're very good with the reporting. A lot of information that we usually get, from the Athletic. So the Athletic was going to release this their findings, their investigative reporting when it comes to the whole Mason Greenwood situation. So it looks like Manchester United they had to put their statement out there that way to kind of make sure their point of view is heard before people see the Athletic, because both information really came out almost at the same time. I'll try to get the full statement of Manchester United and post it up here or on the link below. That way you guys can catch it and read for yourself. But I'll paraphrase basically what was happening. So Manchester United, their statement basically it says like this: Mason Greenwood is their player. He has been with the club since the age of 7. Basically what they're doing is they're saying that they have they have exhausted, they did all the investigations that needed to be done when it comes to Mason Greenwood, right? I'm sure some of you, I don't know if you have heard or you have listened to the video or you have seen the pictures of what Mason Greenwood was accused of. Now, I know this is a very touchy subject for a lot of people. So I'll do my best here to kind of give you what I see, and I'm reporting the news as I digest it, right? So basically, Manchester United is saying that, look, we have done an investigation, and we also looked at all the evidence, right? We looked at all the evidence, including the evidence that the public, you, me, and the internet don't know. Apparently, there's other evidence out there. So United has looked at all that, and they've completed the investigation. So right now the ball is in Richard Arnold's court. Basically, Richard Arnold is going to be the one to make the final decision on whether to bring Mason Greenwood back, right? So that's the gist of it, right? And so now we're going to flip side and go to the Athletic. The Athletic news publication, theirs was more detailed because they kind of broke it down and give concrete kind of explanation. They said, look, in the bottom line is this: Mason Greenwood is going to be back at Man United, right? Now, I know some of you or other people will not, find that information very good, but according to the Athletic, Richard Arnold had he had reached out to the executive people at the Manchester United, and and informed them, like, guys, listen, my decision is going to be like this. I'm going to allow Mason Greenwood to return to Manchester United. And he's also, Richard Arnold was going to do like a video. He's going to record a video just like me to explain his decisioning. Why did he make that decision? Now, this information, this video, this statement from Manchester United was supposed to be released on August 4th. Now, this is what, I don't know what date it is. I kind of lost track. It's the 16th, right? Yeah. So as of today, that statement, that video, or the official statement from Richard Arnold hasn't come out yet to say that Mason Greenwood was back. But basically, he was going to announce. So he was telling people, the executive committee at Man United and most of the high ups, people need to be prepared that to plan for his return. Okay. So is the way they handled this, is this correct? Could it have been handled better? I think so. Because doing a video like this to explain why you're bringing Mason Greenwood back, I don't think it's enough. I think Man United should have definitely done a better job. And it's so funny. You knew it. I did as well, and the rest of the world knew that Mason Greenwood is going to be back. Because if they were going to let him go, the transfer window opened, a month ago or something, right? They should have let him go by now. So we know for a fact he's going to be back. How people in the Man United, community, and people especially people who work at Old Trafford, how are they going to feel about that? Because it's a very touchy subject. And it's one of those things that I don't know if you guys have heard or seen the pictures. It's one of those things you cannot unhear. Now, it could be that the reason that United is allowing him to come back is there's other evidence that is not part of the public domain that we haven't seen, that gave him, an explanation why they should bring Mason Greenwood back. And I'm thinking that the reason that he's, personally, I think the reason that he's being allowed back is Manchester United. They always think of the bottom line, right? Depending on what all the accusation he did, right? Yes, in the court of law, he's innocent because the charges were dropped, right? Meaning that he was not found guilty. Now, if you take it as a black and white, then you'd be like, okay, he's innocent. But it's one of those things, right? If someone, for example, goes at the bar and, say, for example, let's imagine this. He went to the bar and then after drinking, he punches someone in the face, right? And someone takes a picture of that, okay? And then the person who was, the police were involved, charges were filed. The person who was punched in the face decided, you know what? I don't want to press charges. I'll drop the charges. He's free to go. It does not mean that that person was not punched in the face, right? So it's one of those things that it's very tricky, right? Yes, the alleged abuse, whatever he did, it could, from what we know, it looked like it did happen because evidence is out there in the internet, okay? If you haven't seen it, check it out. But it's not something pleasant to see. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things that United, I don't know the best way to handle this, right? If you bring him back, he's gonna, the amount of abuse that he's gonna get, and from the community, from all these organizations, abuse and all this stuff organizations, it's going to be tremendous. And also another thing, it's one of those things that, you wouldn't want our team, Manchester United, to be associated with that, right? So to me, I would terminate the contract, send him somewhere, or even if you bring him back, but send him out on loan somewhere. That way he's out of the United name, That way he can rehabilitate himself. Of course, Man United has a due responsibility, because you've had this kid from when he was 7 until now. I don't know how old is he, what, 18, 19, 20? So this whole time. So yes, you're still gonna give him classes to work on his anger, whatever he did. That way you can rehabilitate him back, right? So it's a very touchy subject. It's one of those things that is very touchy, and hopefully that there's no right way of talking about it. And I'm trying my best here, but it's one of those, like, okay, if you think about it purely in the football aspect of it, you were like, yeah, man, we really could use him right now, man. That way he can score some goals. Because, like it or not, Mason Greenwood is a generational talent, right? And the way Man United is looking at him, they're looking at him as an asset that they cannot just let him go for free, meaning that they cannot just terminate this contract and be like, go and find another team. So that's what United is doing, because United, with Mason Greenwood right now, he's a $100 million striker, easy, right? So United is like, look, we cannot just let him go. Let's find a way to bring him back. Now, according to reports, I'm seeing that Ten Hag, Richard Arnold, Murtaugh, they're all for him coming back, right? They're all for him coming back. Ten Hag is willing to take him back into the team, but I don't know how Ten Hag is going to do that. Is it the right thing to do? I don't know. In a purely football stance, Ten Hag will probably be like, okay, yes, because he has to put just his football hat. Like, look, how is he going to help my team? Of course, we need a striker, so Ten Hag will probably think, you know what, I would need him. We'll need those goals. But also, it doesn't negate what he supposedly did, right? So it's a really interesting situation. So we'll see what Manchester United is going to end up doing with him. Of course, the way we see it is the decision is going to be to bring him back. I know even the last game we played against Wolves, there was some chance about Mason Greenwood, not positive chance. Imagine him now going to the away side. There's going to be so much abuse. Last week, before United put like fillers out, their decision trying to bring Mason Greenwood back, they put a statement out there that we're going to ask the women team before we make any decisions. And all of a sudden, the women team was bombarded with abuse, because some of the women players at Manchester United, they were saying, you know what, yeah, I know he was wrong, but we're willing to supposedly bring him back. So the women team, they were bombarded like online with all this abuse, which is not right, but again, the whole situation is a total mess. There's no right or wrong way of handling it. And I know United, they've had numerous meetings forever to try to figure out the best way to handle this. But again, I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Personally, I was saying that's what I would do. If you're gonna bring him back, send him out somewhere. That way he's out of the public domain, Man United name. That way he can go and reinvent himself, because he, as a person, now he's married to the supposedly victim. They have a child, not married. I mean, they have a child. So he has a right to earn a living, but he doesn't have to earn a living playing for Man United, right? Because he can do it somewhere else, right? Because we know that when it comes to the abuse situation, it's something that is very prevalent. It happens all the time. Now, we cannot use an excuse, because now they have a child, everything is good to go. They've moved on. It could be we've seen a lot of situations where people have been abused, but they're still with their partners, kind of situation. But again, I'm not here to make judgment. I don't have a solution. I'm just giving you my 2 cents. But yeah, I don't know how United is going to deal with this at the bottom line, right? So anyway, guys, real quick, this video went too long. I thought it was going to be a quick one, but you know what? Thank you so much for being here. As you're rolling out, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. That way you do not miss any new videos coming out of this channel. Thank you so much, guys. Peace.